We are so back. It's been almost 8 months since I've uploaded a video. Hi, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for sticking around. I'm so sorry that I've gone completely MIA. The end half of last year kind of just kicked my ass a little bit. I started a new role at work. That was really, really hard. And I started wedding planning, which is going well, but it literally takes up so much of your time. My drive was just at an all-time low. I could not find the energy to just sit down and film, but that's changed. If there's anything that could revive me, it's this weird film franchise that I've loved for well over 10 years. It's serious to me. It's very, very serious to me. I take it seriously. So let's talk about this ColourPop Twilight collection. I have all of the products and we're gonna talk about all of them. Even that dry oil that's making my sensory issues go a little crazy right now. I don't wanna touch it, but I will. We're gonna touch it. If you weren't around or into the Twilight series at this time,
you just don't get it.
I have to start off by saying that I love the unicartons that they made for this collection. Look at that. This is so pretty, and it's really reflective of what the first movie was. Now, I will say, as somebody who does not wear eyeshadow often, this color story is really difficult for me to figure out. Like, I'm definitely gonna have to pull up a few reference photos to see how I'm gonna use these together. Like, my brain just doesn't make sense of the colors right away. So if you're somebody like me, I don't really see investing in a palette like this unless you love Twilight, just right off the bat. I don't think I have any eyeshadow primer, so I'm just gonna add some of this concealer to my eyes just to kind of give myself a nice smooth base. This palette doesn't have a warm toned brown, so I think that I'm just gonna dip into my bronzer and just add some warmth into my crease. Okay, this is a little better. Ooh, I might have added too much. Going over that with a clean brush. Just kind of smoke it out a little, make it look not so harsh. If I'm ever doing an eyeshadow look, you guys, I just need you to bear with me. Bear with me, because I genuinely don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying my best. Okay, so I used some of that Say It Out Loud color and then added in my bronzer just for some warmth. This palette has no warm tones whatsoever, so I needed a little something. I needed a little something. Moving on. The shade Irrevocably is kind of speaking to me, so I think I'm gonna go in with this next, more on my lid, not so much in the crease. I might have to add a little more concealer. I'm concerned about how this color is gonna show up on my skin tone if we're being real. That's another good thing to mention. If you are somebody who's medium or deeper than that, I don't know. I don't know about this eyeshadow palette working in our favor at all. These are just like the kind of colors that either look super ashy on us or will not show up pretty much at all. We might have to do some like white base situation if this doesn't work out, but let's just see. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. This might get muddy too. Oh no, I didn't think this through. I actually think I'm gonna cover the whole lid with it. Why not? Yeah. It's just like not a great color story for people with medium tan, deep skin tones. I'm on the lighter end of that spectrum, and this is what a blue looks like on me, you know? I just think it comes down to ColourPop not caring if a palette is gonna be universally usable. I think that they just kind of care about the aesthetic nowadays because they have so many products that you can buy. But I'm like, that doesn't really feel like a good excuse as to why a palette doesn't work for as many people as possible. You know what I mean? I look like a fucking ghoul. I look like a ghoul, a goblin. I just look dead. I don't like how this is making my eyes look. I might be able to save it, but don't hold your breath. I'm gonna repeat those colors on my lower lash line. Try to pack this on a little more. See if that helps. Let's try to add some sparkle. Let's see what we can do to salvage this. I'm very into these two shades, so I'm gonna try to do a little cocktail with both of them on the outer and inner corners of my eye. This is the shade Irresistible. This is the shade The Cullens. This color, you can't tell on camera, but it's like a really pretty blurple, blue-purple periwinkle. I don't know, but it's really, really pretty in the pan. I'm gonna do The Cullens first. Ooh, that's actually very crumbly. Let me see what I can do here on this day. This is a very crumbly eyeshadow. I might have to go in with my fingers, actually. It's just not getting better. Should I just do fingers? I think I'm just gonna do fingers. It's the best bet right now. That color is very pretty. It's just a bad formula. I think they've done better. I've had ColourPop shadows that perform way better than this throughout the years. I don't know why this one is just like not blowing me away right now. Adding on that Irresistible shade on top of the blue that I just put down. Just trying to like make it a little less bluey. Okay, I'm just gonna add some of this green called Lion and Lamb. This is such a beautiful color. I don't know if it's gonna do much to help me out right now, but I really want to use a lot of the shimmers. Oh, that color is gorgeous. I really like that. For once, I am liking a color in this palette. Actually, that might have just did something. I think I could pull this out, actually. That green just gave me the life force I need to finish this eyeshadow look. They should have made this a super shock shadow. I don't know why they didn't just take this green and make it its own thing, because this is beautiful. Okay. That was good. All right, we might be able to do something now. I'm just gonna clean this up and add a little bit more brown back into my crease. I feel like I lost a lot of definition in my crease messing with all of these colors, so one moment, please. I tried to make it look interesting. I tried to clean it up a little. I tried like wiping underneath my eyes. I fear this is the best I could do. I'm gonna move on to eyeliner. I'm gonna use one of the Graphics ink liners in the shade Coven. I'm gonna include swatches of all of the colors, even the ones I didn't use. There are 3 of these and all of them look really, really beautiful. It's like a black with blue and green sparkles scattered throughout it. The packaging is really funny. It has all these Twilight quotes on it, and one of them is just, he's totally gorgeous, obviously. I do really like this kind of eyeliner. This is so sharp and easy to like work with for me. I do think I like this eyeliner formula and I love the applicator. I just think that, this shade in particular is not as pigmented as I want it to be. And I do think it's because I have so much of this glittery eyeshadow underneath. It's just kind of dulling it a little bit. Is this good makeup application? No. Is it the makeup that I have on my face right now? Yes. And we're just gonna keep going with it. Okay, so I'm gonna add some mascara and do the rest of my base makeup, and I'll be right back. Oh my god, I should probably explain what Twilight is actually for people who don't know what it is, in case you're a baby, like a child, or if you've been living on another planet for the past 20 years. Let me tell you what Twilight is. So it's a book series that was eventually turned into a film series starring Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, and Taylor Lautner. Lautner? That one guy who won't stop doing backflips. The story basically revolves around this one girl named Bella Swan. She's 17, I believe, when the book starts, and she moves to Forks, Washington to live with her dad and meets Edward Cullen, who turns out to be a vampire. He's an 100-something-year-old vampire, and she falls in love with him. They're in love with each other, but that starts to cause problems. Just in general. Lots of stuff happens. Their love is kind of like forbidden in a lot of ways, and also she has this added pressure of her best friend, or her childhood friend, and then eventually her teenage best friend Jacob also being in love with her. So she's kind of caught in this weird love triangle. And Jacob, spoiler alert, turns out to be a werewolf. So I'm condensing this too much. There's so much that happens in this series This book series is crazy. This movie series is crazy, okay? I'm not saying that it's good. I'm not saying that it's even worth your time, but I am saying that you should watch all of the movies like tonight. I don't know what it is about Twilight. It's for me something that I find very comforting, and it was such a big part of my teenage tween life that I feel like I don't want to lose it. Every time I'm like down or just need like a little pick-me-up, I need a little something comforting and familiar, I'll throw on a Twilight movie. Sarah Zed, who's a YouTuber, did a really great in-depth video on the Twilight Renaissance. Everybody should go watch it. I'm gonna link it in the description box below. Please go watch it, it's so good. And she basically breaks down every aspect of Twilight Mania back then and its impact today. It's so good. Okay, so I applied the rest of my makeup. It's crazy how finishing the rest of your face kind of pulls everything together, because this situation looked so bad about 30 minutes ago. Now we're looking a little more normal. I think it's okay. All together and from this distance, that looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna apply a highlighter. I think out of the two options that you get in this collection, I'm gonna go for the shade Vampire Skin, just because the shade Meadow is a little too pink for I think what's going on my eyes right now. This is a little more blue-y, so I think it'll look good. I am very scared to see how a highlighter this silver is gonna look on my skin tone, but I have to try it. It literally looks like a stripe of white on my face. I'm gonna make it look as best as I can. I'm trying very hard to make this look not terrible, because I do think that this is just something that I wouldn't buy on my own. Like, I know that this kind of highlighter wouldn't work for somebody like me. Let me see if I could fix this with like meshing it with my blush a little bit more. When I first applied it, it looked really terrible. Like, you could see that huge stripe. You still got it again. Hold please. Let me add a little bit of setting spray. The Super Shock highlighters in general are pretty glittery, so if you're not into that look, do not get this. Also, if you're my skin tone or deeper, do not get this. I do think this product was so necessary in a Twilight collection because it's super glittery. You can definitely see all of the glitter on my face right now, but it's just not a super forgiving color for my skin tone. I feel like it emphasizes a lot of texture for me, so the only way that I'd use either of these colors is on the eyes. I think these would look really, really pretty on the eyes. As face highlighters, not for me. Not for me. If you're into super glittery highlighters though, you'll really like these. Just beware of the white streak. Finally, we are at my favorite part, which is always going to be the lip products. And these look so good. I'm gonna be so honest right off the bat. I'm very, very into these colors. This is all in their lip oil formula, which I've never tried before. I didn't even know they made lip oils. This is my favorite. I've been dying to put this on just because this color is gorgeous. I wonder how sheer it's gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like a chubby applicator, but it's this like flat kind of applicator, which I don't hate. It is a thinner formula than I'm used to. I love this color. I think it's so pretty. It was a very smart idea to not only do this kind of blood red color in the tube, but for it to be a color like this that just looks like a just bitten lip, especially for Bella, who wears little to no makeup in all of the movies. It's just, it works so well. This was a really smart addition to the collection. I do prefer a thicker, more plush, cushiony lip oil. This is on the thinner side, but it looks really good. It feels really comfortable on the lips, and my lips are feeling a little more hydrated than before I started, so. Next we have the shade Team Edward, which is a navy blue color. I've never used a sparkly navy blue lip oil, but there's a first time for everything. Oh no. Yeah, blue lips isn't necessarily a look I want to go for. It's a little casket ready. And last but not least, we have Team Jacob, which is a black gloss with a bunch of silver glitter in it, I think. I feel like the glitter's not showing up super well on camera, but I can see it in my mirror. I would never wear these on their own, but these are great for layering. If a product is too warm on the lips or you just want to tone it down, adding these colors on top can definitely help. I've used a black gloss in the past that I've loved from e.l.f. that actually looks really similar to this one, and it's so nice over warm toned lip liners. It looks really good. I'm actually going to show you. Let me show you what that looks like. I'm going in with the ColourPop lip liner in the shade BFF2. Yep, BFF2. Okay, so this is what the lip liner looks like on its own. Just like a pinky brown shade. And now I'm gonna add the lip oil in Team Jacob on top. See how that just like cooled down that color a bit and made it more of like a cool toned berry brown shade? These are nice. I like these. I like this formula. Even though it's not as thick as I'd like it to be, it still looks and feels really good. I guess we have to try this now. I am not a body oil, body shimmer kind of person. It gives me the ick to think about that on my skin. I don't particularly love glitter. I definitely don't want it all over my body. And the idea of a dry oil doesn't really compute in my brain. So I'm scared to see how I'm gonna feel touching this. But I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand just so we can see. I don't wanna put it on like my shoulders. Sorry, I'm just weird about it. It does make sense that they would have a body shimmer situation since, duh, the vampires glitter in the sunlight. Oh my god, it's really runny. Oh, that's actually quite beautiful. I don't want it on my body, but I think it would look good on your body if that's what you'd like. Oh, it smells really good. It smells like coconuts. That's nice. I'd never wear this, but it's nice. I don't wear body oils ever, especially ones with shimmer in them, but if you're into that, this one smells really good. I think it looks nice on the skin. I definitely have a little glow. It's not as glittery as it looks in the bottle, which is good, at least for me. I did not want to look like I was painted in glitter. And it feels really good. Like my hands feel so soft right now. I don't hate this. This look came together. I feel like it was looking really bad in the beginning and really bad there in the middle, but at the end, I pulled it out. I think like with a lot of ColourPop stuff, the packaging, the names, the aesthetics are all better than the actual products. Unfortunately, I think if you're not a huge Twilight fan, there's nothing in particular in this collection that I would say you need to go out and get except that lip oil in the shade Bells, which I think is so cute and would look so good on so many people. I also really did like the eyeliners, but those all have shimmer in them, so I feel like not as many people are gonna be into that, but the colors are really, really beautiful. This eyeshadow palette is not it. It's not it, not for me, and I don't think it's gonna be it for a lot of people. It's just too cool toned. It's not pigmented enough to actually justify these colors. Like if these colors were super pigmented, I wouldn't be complaining about them right now, but they're not. Not all of them work well. It's these matte shadows that I just think are not pigmented enough. They're so chalky. I feel like you have to do a lot of layering, and the color story is unfortunately not gonna work. It's not gonna work for a lot of people, which, nothing new to ColourPop. Just saying. I think that's it. I think I went through everything. Please let me know your thoughts on this collection, but more importantly, let me know your thoughts on Twilight. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What did it do to your brain? Did it do what it did to my child brain? Because I feel crazy now being obsessed with it. Also, let me know if you have any ideas for videos or stuff you want to see me do. I'm always open to suggestions. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, for being here and sticking with me. I can't wait to make more content for you this year, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.